princess with 20 skirts. This is a story from the land of Holland, of people who are called the Dutch. In Holland, many centuries ago, there lived a king and a queen who had a beautiful daughter. The princess was lovely to look at, and that she knew very well. So among all of the people of the land who loved to look at her pretty face, she loved to look at it herself the most. In those days, there were no mirrors or medals, so the princess would head into the woods, go by the lake, and regale at her gorgeous reflection in the water. Then, so great was her love for nature and the woods that she would play in the mud all day, run around with the animals every morning and evening, so that by the time she returned to the palace, her hair would be as tangled as a bird's nest.
Oh, my dear princess, how am I ever to get rid of those tangles in your hair? I don't know. That is your job. Please do come and sit and let me comb your hair. This might hurt a bit. Oh, can't you do anything right? You are such orc.
An auroch? Your Majesty called me akin to a buffalo. That is so rude, princess.
Learn to comb my hair well, and then we shall speak of rudeness. Auroch! Oh, this water is so hot. Can't anyone do anything right around here?
As you may have noticed, the princess's behavior was nearly not as lovely as her face. Playing with the creatures of the forest and getting her hair tangled was fine, but insulting her helpers, many of them much older than her, that too, when they were trying to do their best for her, was just not done. The queen spoke of the princess's petulance to the king. The king loved his daughter dearly and could not bear to think of punishing her. He only assured the queen.
Well, our daughter is not all bad, my dear. She shares my love for animals and trees and things of the forest. See how tenderly she cares for the little calf she found injured in the forest once? And birds flock to her whenever she is out in the garden.
While the king drew solace from the princess's kindness to animals, he was worried about the kind of queen she would make. So he took the worries in his heart and carried them to his favorite spot in the forest. The spot where his friend, the great oak, had once stood. It was many years ago when the king was but a boy of 10. He had seen some woodcutters come to chop down the oak.
I shall not let you cut this tree.
Prince, we need the wood.
Then go and find a dead tree. But I shall not let you kill this one, or else drive your axe through me before the blade touches the tree.
So the woodcutters had no option but to leave the big old oak alone. The prince insisted that a royal guard be placed in the forest so that no one could cut a healthy tree and cut wood only from already dead ones. No one was allowed to hunt any animal or catch any bird from the forest. On another day, when the young prince was playing in the forest,
Where is that sound coming from? Sounds like an animal is in pain.
the young prince searched everywhere in the shrubs and shoots and bushes and found a baby auroch. The auroch was in terrible pain as its leg had been hurt and the wound was deep. The king took the auroch to the palace and tended to it day and night, until finally it was well enough to bound away into the woods again. When the young prince had become older, Now a youth of 20 years, he had visited his old friend, the oak, again, to find the poor tree dying.
My oak, my beloved oak, what has become of you? Why do you look so withered, my friend? I must go fetch a doctor, a gardener, whoever might know how to save you.
It is of no use, young prince, for the time has come for my spirit to leave this world. You have been kind to me, and you saved my life on several occasions. Now it is time for me to return the favor.
And for me too.
You, my dear Auric, you too look so tired and worn.
The oak and I are brothers. We had been cursed to live as a tree and as an animal, and now the duration of the curse is nearing its end. It is time for us to return to our land in the stars.
But before we go, O noble prince, we wish to bless your land with untold prosperity and happiness, for your kindness surely deserves it.
When I am dead, take one of my horns and fashion a comb out of it for a daughter you will someday have.
And when I have fallen, cut my bark into staves. When your daughter turns 17, join the staves to make a skirt for her and make her wear it whenever she misbehaves.
Then, one day she will find a purple flower at the exact spot where my brother now stands as the oak. Let the women of the land spin from the stalk of the flower.
And before you know it, this dark forest shall become a vibrant field full of such flowers which your people will spin into the finest, softest fabric ever discovered by man. And your kingdom will become one of the most prosperous ones in the world.
Today, so many years later, as the king stood in the wood, he remembered what his old friends the oak and the auric had said. His worried heart saw a ray of hope, and thanking them in his mind, the king rushed to the palace. He had a skirt made of the staves of the oak and a comb out of the horn of the auric.
Our daughter has once again made the governess cry with her rudeness.
Call her here.
The princess was called for. When she arrived,
I hear you have been misbehaving again.
Father, they are all so useless.
Enough! Henceforth, you shall comb your hair with this. And from now on, whenever you are rude, you shall wear this.
Father, but
No questions, no discussion. Wear this now.
and so it came to be. Whenever the princess was rude or badly behaved, she was made to wear the wooden skirt. The princess did not like it at all, and her behavior soon started to become better. Every time the princess had her hair combed with the comb made from auric's horn, the princess's manners improved greatly.
I do so love the feel of this comb. It is so soft.
But your hair are so tangled, Your Majesty. It might hurt.
Yes, it might. Don't worry, dear governess. I shall be very still. Are you all right?
I'm sorry. So very, very sorry, Your Majesty.
As long as you are okay, it is fine. Don't worry. Anyone can slip like that.
Everyone was amazed at the wonderful change that had come over the once arrogant, rude, and selfish princess. Soon her manners were as beautiful as her face. She no longer needed to wear the wooden skirt, and was the kindest, sweetest person in the kingdom. One day, as she went into the woods as usual, she reached the spot where the old oak had once been, and she saw the prettiest, daintiest flower there ever was. She took the flower to the palace and showed it to her mother and her aunt, who had come visiting.
Mother! Aunt! See what I have found in the forest today.
What a strange, beautiful flower.
That is no ordinary flower, dear. This is flax.
Flax? What is that?
Soon the aunt shows the ladies in the palace how to roast the stalk and extract the flax from the flower and spin it into soft, beautiful linen. Before long, the entire forest had become a huge field of the flax flowers, and everyone in the kingdom was spinning the flax into soft linen. The tailors made wonderful shirts for the men and skirts for the ladies. The princess loved the linen so much that one day, "The skirt feels so soft. Bring me another. Look at the flare it gives me. Bring me one more. Oh, the more I rub, the more gorgeous it looks. Get me one more."
The princess wore 20 skirts in all and walked with such elan in the palace that all the ladies thought that 20 skirts was the number of those beautiful skirts to wear. The fashion spread all around the kingdom, and every girl, every woman, and every bride had to have 20 skirts around her. And to this day, the fashion which the princess had begun stays in the land of Holland among the Dutch people. The fashion that was brought by the princess who wore 20 skirts. More importantly, we must note that this was the same princess who had to wear a skirt made out of wood. And now she could wear soft linen that felt comfortable even when 20 skirts were wrapped around her. When we are willing to accept our faults and work on them, we become lighthearted and joyful. Then, people feel comfortable around us and celebrate whatever we do. Once the princess became polite and loving, nobody talked of her rudeness anymore, because when we ourselves give up our bad habits, others naturally forgive us. That is the true way of the world.